Oh, hey Jamie, did you see the new Transformers movie? It's got loads of explosions and dinosaurs in it now.
What
I
is it
really
about
like
society that
dinosaurs.
disappoints you
And
so
they did one
much?
with Anthony
Oh,
Hopkins in it, and
I
then
don't know. Is it that we collectively thought Steve Jobs was a great man, even when we knew he made billions off the backs of children? Or maybe it's that it feels like all our heroes are counterfeit. The world itself's just one big hoax. Hello everyone.
right by the mic. Hello everyone.
This is a little bit of Sandbox we've got here. You're very lucky. This is episode 14 of Sandbox.
Oh, that's a lucky number, that is.
Yeah, it's my lucky number too.
Yeah.
Divisible by 7. And
Moving on.
which is everyone's lucky number. So
Do you want me to take lead, Jamie? You seem a bit lost in yourself.
sorry everyone, I'm
okay,
back.
buddy.
I'm back. I've had a really tiring day today.
Yeah.
And I'm not in the right mindset. I wasn't in the right mindset back there to begin a podcast, but now I am.
You're back. You're back in focus.
So, back in focus, back in the firing line, back in the whatever. Right.
Yeah.
So, this is a very special episode of Sandbox because it's just a normal episode of Sandbox, which we haven't done in ages.
So it's a gimmick.
I hope you're looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
We've got a real treat in store for you.
Oh boy, what's the treat?
Lots of talking.
Yeah.
Lots of out of focus throughout the video.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Potentially higher audio quality if we did it correctly. And if we didn't do it correctly, we're not going to film this again.
See, who needs visuals when you have audio?
What are you drinking, Jack?
It's a podcast after all. I don't know, this very dark brown liquid.
This is murky dark brown, which I brewed.
What is it called?
It's called Nightwalker.
Nightwalker.
And it's really, really dark. It's got exactly what it's got in it. It's got bags and bags of chocolate malt in it, which is delicious.
Yeah.
Because it tastes like chocolate.
I like the flavour of it a lot, and I prefer a paler drink ordinarily.
I will say though that I can't drink too much of it.
Fair.
It's kind of like a pint would probably be a challenge by the end.
Yeah.
It's quite rich.
Fair. I'd
but not for
agree
you.
with that.
Oh, you would agree? Okay.
No, I would agree.
Okay.
Because I'm not a rich man.
We're both incredibly poor here at Opening Beta.
As you can tell by our setups. You're getting better by the month.
Well, I mean, Jack's setup is... The thing is though, right? As you can see, this is a perfect backdrop for a green screen.
Yeah, it would be ideal.
Blank. If only that was green, that would be the perfect background.
If we weren't so pale, it would be very easy to chroma key something onto that background. But
if we had green skin, that'd be perfect.
What, just revert chroma key ourselves out?
No, chroma key the background. You can chroma key any colour.
Yeah, but if we were green,
then it would definitely wouldn't clash with the background.
Our teeth would.
Jack, just because you don't understand chroma keying doesn't mean I need to spend this much time talking about it on everyone's favourite podcast on the internet.
Jamie, I think I know more about it than you. I made this penis Naruto.
Also, apologies for two things. Well, actually, it's the same video quality as the last one we did, so, just apologies for the lack of production value compared to what we've had before. But it will be just as good, if not better, than what you're used to.
People come here for our personalities, not for the background.
People come here for personality and merch.
We have merch now. We should sell those on Etsy for £50 a pop.
£50 a pop?
Me and my mum spent a long time on those coasters.
£50.
Gee, what are you doing? It's destroying the set.
£50 a pop filter.
It went out of focus. They didn't even see the pop filter. Oh man,
There's no pop
it's
anymore.
out. But they didn't even hear that. To them, it was silence. It's
So-
like audio camo.
So we're going to talk about a few things. As you might have guessed from the intro, there's a brand new season show called Dracula. We're going to be talking about Dracula in no detail at all.
I was trying to think of a new show, but I couldn't think of any.
Me and Jack went to Comic-Con last weekend.
We did go to Comic-Con last weekend.
Oh, that was something really loud. We saw Stephen Moffat and company
Mark Gatiss.
talk about... How do you know that?
What?
Who's that?
What, Mark Gatiss?
No, I don't know who it is.
The one who was with Stephen Moffat.
So obviously...
I mean, now I need to get a picture of Mark Gatiss
the
up,
one with
'cause you
Stephen Moffat.
definitely know who he is. He's more recognisable than Stephen Moffat.
I disagree. I actually recognise Stephen Moffat. I don't even know who this guy is.
You mean Mycroft? I mean, he was also in Game of Thrones.
I do actually know who he is, but I didn't realise he was on the set of that. I just did not recognise him. So we saw two celebrities at Comic-Con. It was really nice, actually. It was quite a nice change of pace to the rush of adoring fans wanted to get a picture with Wario and Waluigi.
Yeah.
Look forward to that vlog. Don't know. This will probably come out first.
Yeah, but you'll see us at Comic-Con at some point. It's a very good video, I think.
We're going to go back to Comic-Con every single half year now because it was really fun.
Every May and October, expect a new Comic-Con vlog.
And there weren't that many duos.
There weren't a lot of duos, and if there were duos, there weren't any Waluigi or Wario duos. There were a lot of Waluigi's.
There were no mainstream duos. There was
very weird duos.
there was like
Oh no, we're lying.
Android 10 and Ryu Hekabashi.
No, but Jamie,
everyone's favourite duo.
you forgot about the one duo we saw, the Joker and Captain Jack Sparrow.
I thought you were talking about Joker and Galarian Weezing. Everyone's favourite duo.
Oh yeah, Joker from Persona 5 and Galarian.
I'm not actually
He
sure
was good.
what there were more of. I'm not... Okay, there's probably more... There were more Jokers than Batman, but there were quite a few other Jokers. There were like a lot of Persona Jokers. A lot.
There were a lot of Persona Jokers,
There
but
were
there
more
were definitely
Jokers.
more DC Jokers. And a lot of different DC Jokers.
Yeah, so the whole spectrum.
Yeah, every time a new incarnation of Joker comes out, another slice of the fan base gets split off to become that one.
Yes, and also I saw two spot genders of Harley Quinn and Joker.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
It was a really cool one.
Yeah.
It was just a really good cosplay. And then he was like male Harley Quinn, and he had property of Mrs. J written on his back. That was cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, there were a lot of cool costumes.
We had a lot of fun at Comic-Con. I really suggest that if you haven't been before, you do.
It's always a really great
It's not just
atmosphere.
in London, it's all across the country in different places. And it's just a really chill vibe.
It is. It's just everyone.
It's nice just to hang out. People are so nice. It feels like it just feels like you're with.
Get upset about it.
No, it feels like you're with your people, doesn't it? Like
No,
everyone's kind
with
of
your nerdy people.
pretty chill, and everyone's in it, in with it.
No, everyone is really chill, and everyone's very. I mean, yeah, there's not really a better word than chill to use.
Yeah.
But everyone just gets on, take pictures of each other, talk about their favourite things. It's great. It's a really good atmosphere. I mean, when I went when I was little, my parents drove me and my friends there, and then they just kind of, walked around London while we went inside. But they were like, they kind of hung out outside for a bit to see people in costumes and that. And even they said, like, it was an amazing atmosphere. Like, they're not into that sort of stuff, but they were like, yeah.
Really, really cool atmosphere. Definitely feel like you're a bit of a celebrity if you go in a
good
decent
costume.
cosplay. Because...
Oh, man. Right, they will have seen it on our social media, but not in the video yet. They might not have seen our cosplay, but we have to say, we were incredible.
I do think...
If we do say so ourselves.
Now, don't want to, just to backtrack a little, Wario and Waluigi, as cosplayers go, are like realistic and feasible to make like accurate.
Yeah, they're
like,
humans.
We put effort in,
Oh,
but
yeah.
like it's not like there are other cosplayers which are infinitely more difficult.
Yeah.
However, I genuinely think we were like by far the best Wario and Waluigi
Yeah.
I didn't see anyone else. I was pretty happy.
Not just the best duo, like you were the best Waluigi and I was the best Wario that we saw. I would agree.
I think so.
Not to
There was some damn good costumes.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it's incredible things.
there was some good, like, we saw like a quartet. We saw Mario, Luigi, Daisy, Peach, which is pretty sick.
We saw Mario,
That's
Luigi, Daisy, Peach, Toad, and Shy Guy.
Were they there too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Look at the picture.
I
It's
forgot
great.
that.
It's like
Yeah,
and then two they didn't have Russ too.
Yeah. Well, Luigi came along just to mess things up a bit.
It was great. Oh, that was another thing. It was. I mean, I've said this. It was such easy comedy. We didn't even have to try. People were just going wah, and then we were just going wah, and they would just uproariously laugh. They would go ah. They made the noise. It was great.
I know. It's like wow. They actually know the noise. Like,
it was hilarious.
Come on, we're professional Wario and Waluigi's here.
Obviously, we handed out some business cards and coasters, but they're not in this room. But yeah, that was fun. We should do that more.
Yeah, I know. I found it really difficult to do. I got so caught up in the moment that I forgot to give.
I found it incredibly easy.
You did really good at it.
People don't care. It's not
I
like
know.
people are like going to be like, oh, I don't.
Afterwards,
people just like, oh, thanks.
No, I was.
They don't do anything
with
it.
No, I was thinking afterwards, like, oh yeah, they actually definitely wouldn't. I mean,
there's many more Comic-Cons to come.
They took us to one side, took a photo, so you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it's great. It was really.
I wonder if they still stink. That still smells. It's not bad, but
only if you stick your nose up to it. You need the acrylic to hold, Jamie. They're very homemade.
If you want an exclusive, openly beta scratch and sniff.
Scratch and sniff. It's scented like Jamie.
Yeah, I stink of solvent. Probably accurate. So the next thing I want to talk about is I'm gonna. You're welcome after this little segment to bring up your own personal thing. By the way.
Oh, we're getting personal.
I do want to very quickly just talk about Disco Elysium.
No, yeah, for sure.
Because it is really.
It sounds
really
really
nice.
good. Explain what it is.
So, no one's talking about it. I was hesitant. I was thinking I could make a video on it, but I truly don't think it's the type of video game that you should. That would make good watching. It's so text heavy.
Yeah.
And it's also not really a game that I'd want to play with anyone else.
Yeah.
It's almost like, you know, if you were to just like read a book with someone, but then if that person is faster or slower than you at reading, then it'd be really annoying for them. So it's kind of like
you'd have to just narrate the whole thing and do some crazy voices.
So if you made a series about it, you could narrate the whole thing, but the series would be just
you talking
so long,
and
then I could only film like one episode every so often because my voice would be completely gone. So Disco Elysium is a detective RPG / adventure game, where there's been a murder and you have to investigate it.
There's been a murder.
Obviously, it's not a spoiler to say you're a detective. That is in the advertising, but at the beginning of the game, you don't actually know that you're a detective. It takes a few minutes, and then someone tells you you're a detective, and then you realise, oh, your character's actually doesn't know anything. Your character's basically forgotten everything, not just about small details. He's forgotten everything.
He's got complete amnesia.
Okay, well, he can talk, but he can talk.
Yeah,
but he hasn't. He doesn't even know anything about the world. Like, people are saying stuff like referencing to wars that have happened, and he's like,
is it set in like our world, or is it like another?
Well, okay, so that's the cool thing. So it's like they may never go into detail in the game. They might never actually properly confirm anything.
Yeah,
I think they might though. It's kind of. I haven't worked it out yet. So it's definitely, at the very least, set in an alternate... It's either set in an alternate Earth,
or
but like a really alternate Earth, where even the landmass is completely different. Like, practically it could be a different planet, sort of thing. Or it's set in the far future after some sort of, not an apocalypse, but some sort of huge degradation of society and technology, because the technology is kind of like weird. It's not like it's like fictional technology. It's not like steampunk. It's not steampunk. It's completely unique, but it's like how steampunk is kind of a mix of old and new. It's like that. It's like all their stuff is low tech, but some of the things are lower tech than they probably should be, given that they have another technology there. Like they have like cars and like stuff and radios, and they have radios, but then they have to like, and there's portable cameras.
It's like they've gone down a really specific tech tree and
yes. But there's like this portable camera, and it's like it takes color photos and it prints off the image, but it's like the same technology as one of those really, really ancient like first gen cameras that you have to stand up and like they get all soot in and stuff. But it's handheld. So it's like those two technologies did not exist in the same place. So it's pretty cool. And they reference land masses that are clearly based on real places. So it's quite clear that
like Neo China.
Well, they don't say that. It wouldn't be called Neo China. It'd be called like Western Rovershire. But it's like, oh, everyone looks Asian from Western Rovershire. They sound Chinese, and they're referencing things that probably suggest it's from China. There's this guy with a thick Scottish accent, and he's like, oh, he's whatever. I can't actually remember. And the place, the city / country, whatever that it takes place in, is definitely France. Clearly France, but it's not called that. It's called like Rough or something. But that's like the backdrop. It's like, and like you've got there's this one. There's the only thing that is. I would have said it's just completely just alternate Earth, but there's one conversation that you have with someone right at the beginning where he basically hints that they're like that it's actually set in the future, and things just went bad at some like many hundreds of years ago. Like people wouldn't have been alive to remember it, but he references like books that talk about these great inventions. But it's an RPG, and
is it in the vein of that, like, what was it called? Was it 999 series or whatever it was?
No,
not like that at all.
Not at all. No, that's like that. I know I said it's like a book, but
that was full on like text.
999 is like a book, like actually like a book, basically, isn't it?
So it is an RPG where you navigate this world and everything like that.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm just being very aware of how blurry we are.
Oh, that's fine. I just keep leaning in every now and then we come back to Earth. There we go.
No. You move around. It's like a point and click adventure game. You move around a map and pick up and like click and point and click. It's like a point and click game. It is.
It is a point and click game.
It is basically a point and click game. But with heavy RPG elements. The whole map is very, very small, but it's like, like stupidly crammed, full of stuff. I mean, the game it's not really about the locations, it's about the people entirely. There's no combat. Well, I'm sure at some point there will be fighting, but there's no combat system. But you do have like your stats come into play in dialogue. There's like 20 different stats you can level up, and they're really interesting. And I can't remember all of. There's so many, I can't remember them all. But they're in 4 categories, which is basically your physical strength, your like intelligence, your social competency, and kind of like the last one's kind of like common sense / like
Like a wisdom one.
not wisdom. It's like reflexes
Okay.
/ common sense sort of. Like kind of like your natural abilities for stuff. And then
Your instincts?
in those kind of.
Yeah.
And in those 4 categories are 5 sub things you can level up. So like for the social one, there's like empathy, and it's called like I can't remember the actual names. They're really cool names, but there's another one which is to do with like how imaginative you are.
Yeah.
And then like the intelligence one will have one that's called encyclopedia, which is just how much stuff you just know.
Yeah.
And all these things will come into speech.
Yeah.
And I've seen how if you do a different playthrough, the way you play the game, you kind of think, okay, so you set your character up at the beginning, and you put your points into these different categories, and you can't change them after that. It's like that's your character. It's kind of like special in Fallout, and it radically changes the game, like completely.
Yeah.
And you don't know it because it doesn't. It's not like a really on the whole, it's not like a really obvious. Oh yeah, well this is where I do this. It's kind of just bleeds into the game.
Yeah.
There are moments in the game where it's. I think they're called what's called white checks, and they're straight up just a thing will come up and say, you can try this. There's a percentage chance that you're going to succeed based on how good you are at this skill. But other than that, the dialogue options kind of weave themselves in.
Yeah.
If you're good at something, it's really, really.
It sounds
well
really
done.
cool. Very fluid and dynamic.
Actually, I just poured like way too much points into one of the social skills, which makes you good at talking to women.
For God's
So
Jamie's truly living out his fantasy.
I just oh no. Here
You
we
just
go.
carry on.
I
Likes my face.
my character is so each of these sections you can put a maximum of 6 points in. So I put 5 points into intelligence, 5 into social,
40 into flirtation.
and then 1 into my physical and 1 into common sense.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Oh, so there you're kind of living your real life.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm definitely not 5 in anything, but I'm definitely 1 in those 2 aspects.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, of those, like you get the base skills get like 5. You start off with, so if you have 5 in your intelligence, then all of your intelligence sub skills will have 5, and then you can level them up individually. And I think my like talking to women skill is on 10.
That's definitely not realistic.
The first thing is though, Jack, the first interaction you have in the game is talking to this woman.
Yeah.
And you can literally straight up ask her to sleep with you.
Yeah.
And it's like a percentage chance one. And I failed it. Like, what is all these points for?
Oh my god. Even when the universe is on your side, you still can't bet a woman. Oh, Jane.
Right, moving on.
What are you like?
What do you want to
Moving
talk
on.
about now?
I want to talk about you being terrible with women some more. As if I'm any better. No, let's talk about some things that are happening in the world. Should we move on to Mr. Robot?
Oh, yeah, I was going to suggest Mr. Robot, but I thought since I just talked about a game that you don't know
No, that's
for
fine.
so long.
I'll get you back at some point.
Alright.
So Mr. Robot is a show that I'm sure all our viewers are either aware of or have seen us talk about before, or are our mum. But it's in season 4 at the moment on Amazon Prime. It's coming out weekly, every Sunday. And me and Jamie can't stand it because binge culture has fried our brains and our ability to focus on anything.
Yeah.
Our attention span is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, we're 4 episodes in now. I think it's a 13 episode season, and it's the final season.
It is 13.
13.
Oh,
Ooh.
usually, when I hear 13 episodes in a series, I'm like, oh, God, they're dragging it out. Mr. Robot? No, they're not.
Especially being 4 episodes in, it's like...
Give me 30. Give me 30. Let me have a little bit of that.
And being 4 episodes in, it's like, we need at least 9 more episodes to tie up everything. Yeah, we've had shows that have been dragged out to death, and we've had shows that have been rushed to shit.
Yep.
Mr. Robot is smack bang in the Breaking Bad middle, where they've planned everything out meticulously, or at least somewhat meticulously, and it's going to have consistent quality or so, I hope. The thing with Mr. Robot, even if like people aren't happy with the ending, however the story goes, because there's definitely going to be at least one more, probably 17 more huge twists. There could be some twist at the end that everyone hates. We're going to talk about theories, don't you worry. But the thing I think with Mr. Robot is, even so, it's everything else is going to be so good, because the cinematography in particular is incredible. It's probably my favourite thing about it. But also the acting's really good, the music's really good. It's kind of like Game of Thrones, where it's like, the writing in the final season, I'm sure most people would agree, was awful, but at least it still had incredible score, incredible acting, incredible sets. Disappointing. And I feel like Mr. Robot would be like that. However, it's not going to be like that, because it's so much more planned out than Game of Thrones was, and not rushed. I'm very excited.
See, I don't know how we tackle this Mr. Robot segment, because we just talked about Mr. Robot kind of in a way that someone who's not seen it before would.
And now we're going to go into intense, deep lore fan theory.
Now I don't know if we should talk about fan theory and speculate or not. I don't actually know what to do.
I think we should, because I want to.
I really want to talk about it so bad.
Let's just do what we want. It's our channel, and if people just skip it if they don't want to watch it, or if you don't know what Mr. Robot is. So if you haven't seen Mr. Robot, then don't watch this. For 2 reasons: one, you won't know what we're talking about, and 2, you should definitely watch it, and there's going to be intense spoilers.
I will say that if you haven't watched it before, I mean, go with Jack's advice, but you won't know what we're talking about, so it probably won't affect anything.
And by the time you've watched the show, you'll be like, I don't remember what they were talking about.
The date today is the day before Halloween.
It is
2019, and we are about to discuss Mr. Robot as of episode 4 of season 4. Yeah. So if anyone watches this after episode 5 or episode 6, then anything could have changed.
We're going to be far out.
And don't skip. Just bear in mind that it's completely out of date, stale information.
Yeah, it might be interesting to have some insight on what people are thinking back now.
Yeah.
So, last episode, just before this, we were talking about an off episode, I called it. I don't remember which one it was. It was one you didn't like.
Oh, yes. It was the one with the boy.
The one with the boy. The one where Mr. Robot takes... Not you didn't like. You liked it less than others.
So, yeah. The episode where Elliot goes to the cinema with the boy and...
His friend's little brother who just died.
I did not enjoy it necessarily.
You were just rearing to get further into the plot.
But I kind of... It's like The Fly.
I mean, that's what I was going to say, yeah.
I was like,
I don't know what you call those episodes, but I always call them like off episodes, where it's always at a moment where it's a big thing happening in the story, and then they slow it down a bit with this. Maybe they want to like lower the budget a bit. But I always really enjoy those episodes because they're always very character driven if done well, and it's always. I do think I've always watched those episodes on a show that I've binge watched. So it's been like, I can watch this, and then I know that I can, once the episode's over, I can get right back next onto the story.
Yeah.
But I do feel like if I was watching Breaking Bad week by week, and I got the Fly episode, I would be so upset that I had to wait another week to see what was going to happen. So maybe that's what it is.
I get it. I get it if you're binging it. I get it.
Yeah.
Like, that episode of Breaking Bad really strengthened Jesse and Walt's relationship. Like, you understand it more. And I do think there's something to be said on that, but
I still really like The Fly.
I think it's very skippable though. Obviously,
In the grand scheme of it, it is. But I mean, you could say that about a lot of the show, really.
Mr.Robot's equivalent is
Boy episode,
is
do
not
you think?
quite the same. I don't think that's more important than The Fly.
Yeah, you get more. You get more plot in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think you get some big moments, some big flashbacks and
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm pretty sure there's some big stuff in
Of
there.
his
Yeah.
dad taken to the cinema, which is actually ties in some of the fan theories.
Right, go on.
Yeah, I like those sorts of episodes anyway. And this episode 4 of season 4, felt a bit like the off episode of this season, to me at least.
Yes.
Apart from the ending, depending on how the ending goes.
The thing is with the ending. So the ending. Well, yeah.
This is actual spoilers. Final warning.
Where Tyrell Wellick goes to a crashed UFO and
I mean,
UV lights everywhere.
I mean, that's fan theory.
That's what the first thing went through my head. It goes to an object that is flashing and making a noise.
It's an unidentified object, so it's at least an UO. We just haven't seen it fly
yet. Yeah.
Yet. Yeah.
I actually did enjoy this episode. The whole time I
really like this episode.
I was thinking the whole time, obviously, like this is really weird, and I was watching.
You used the word dreamlike, which I thought was very accurate.
I was watching it, because I think it actually. I was watching it with my girlfriend, and she doesn't watch Mr. Robot, and I was kind of like, oh, I was just watching it, and she was doing other things in the background, but occasionally she'd like watch it with me, and that was the worst episode for anyone to
drift in and out.
Watch. I was like, this is kind of rubbish. I didn't think it was rubbish.
No.
But if you're just watching it, you're like, what the hell's going on?
No, because it was a really character-driven episode.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
But nothing happens if you're just randomly watching an episode of Mr. Robot. That is just a weird episode to watch.
No, it is. It was a really weird episode, and that's why I think it was like one of those other, like The Fly or the Cinema episode, whatever that one was called. Because it didn't advance anything. We didn't even really learn anything new about the characters.
Okay, the whole thing with Tyrell Wellick turning up, that whole thing is so weird.
Tyrell's character is really weird in general.
Right? Tyrell is really strange, and a lot of what he does, we don't know.
Yeah.
Like, things happen, and I think it's quite clear that Elliot doesn't understand why his relationship is the way it is with Tyrell.
Yeah.
And we don't understand Tyrell at all, because there's clearly more going on than we realise. Because he's like, at some point in the show, like somewhere in season 2, he turned completely. He changed. His character was completely different.
Yeah.
And we don't know why that is.
I think it's kind of when you get the reveal of he helped Elliot with the 5-9 hack and all that.
Yeah, but it's like,
a lot of people complain about Tyrell because they feel he's really directionless, but I really like his character. I think it's...
Yeah, I like his character a lot.
Someone articulated it quite well on Reddit the other day, but I can't quite remember what it was. But it was basically like he's got a hierarchy of things that he wants. So it was like... Or things he cares about. So it was like, he cares about his wife, he cares about becoming CEO of the company, he cares about having power, and it's kind of like, as he loses more and more things, it kind of drips down to like... He just wants to be powerful, basically.
He doesn't even want that.
Well, maybe not.
Like,
he wants to take down the company.
I don't know what... I think he's quite chaotic now. I think he actually is like a bit of a Joker character now.
It is interesting. There's a theory that Elliot's third / one of Elliot's other personalities that we may not know about, it was in a relationship with him. Yes. Which I think could definitely work.
Totally works.
Because that would explain why... Like, I don't know, maybe after his wife died, I can't quite remember the timeline, but maybe that's when he started to go more into wanting to take down the Deus group and all that stuff. Something like that, I don't know. And we've seen him have gay sex before. That was seemingly to advance a plot, and at the time it felt like he's not gay, but he's willing to do anything
Yes.
for his own gain. But I don't know.
That's
maybe there's
true.
something there to that.
That's true.
Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was. I interpreted that as he's willing to do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't.
It just maybe supports that theory.
I think there's something in that.
Yeah.
He.
Tyra, I like Tyra a lot. I don't even know why. I think because he's so chaotic and mysterious.
Explain this to me. I think I already asked this question when it was first revealed at the end of season 3. A drug dealer.
Oh, Vera, yeah.
What? Why is he now? Why do I need to suddenly care about him now? Tell me why I need to care about him.
Oh, he. I think he left the state to like escape being arrested or something. I can't quite remember what happened, but basically he left. He was like, "I'll leave you alone. I'll leave. I killed your girlfriend. I'm off," sort of thing. And now he's just returned, and he wants something with Elliot. So it's like, oh damn, he's back.
Killed
Shayla. Do you remember Shayla?
No.
Do you not remember that? Big plot point in season 1.
But I kind of can't remember.
I think it started around the time where Elliot had the episode where he's like, I want to be normal. So he started taking his medication. He started doing normal things, buying Starbucks and stuff. It was playing happy music. If you still my sunshine. And then he like asked Shayla to be his girlfriend. Shayla was one of his. She lived next door to him. She lived next door to him in the now empty apartment.
If I see a picture of her,
should I get a picture of her? Yeah, and she was also. I think she helped him get his morphine in season 1 and that as well. Oh, I just searched Shayla and got a picture of random women because I didn't include Mr.Robot in my search.
Yeah, I remember her.
Yeah, and then there's the episode where Vera was in prison and his guys kidnapped Shayla. And then he said, you need to break me out of prison or you'll never see her again, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no,
yeah.
I think he said...
How did I forget that?
I think he said, I'll bring her back when you get me out of prison or something. And at the end, he breaks him out of prison by staging a massive riot and everything.
Yeah.
And then it ends and he's walking away and he's like, okay, I'll give you back Shayla. And he's like, don't you see? She's been with you the whole time. And then he's like, what? And then he opens the boot and then you assumedly she's dead in the boot, but you don't see it.
Yeah, I remember that now.
Big catch up.
No, the thing is, that's how funny. I completely forgot about that whole thing.
Yeah, Elliot moment.
But the reason why is because
so much has happened.
The story has moved on.
Yeah, it was very low stakes in season 1.
That was not
well, it wasn't
relevant.
That low stakes, but quite low stakes.
That wasn't relevant. It hasn't been relevant for in my head years. I forgot. So why do we need to worry? We just need to worry about him because he was a big deal in season 1 for that reason.
Yeah, and he's a massive violent psycho. He was scary in season 1. He would really scare me.
No, yeah.
There was a scene where I think Elliot went to his house to find Shayla and she was in the bathroom and he's sitting on the couch and he's clearly really out of his mind with something.
Yeah.
And you can see him getting really paranoid and Elliot wants to go in the bathroom to check on Shayla and he's like, don't check on her, she's fine. It's like, oh, I'm really scared of this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so
and then in the last episode he said that Elliot is the architect for their new world or something weird like that. And then he shot that guy.
I know. Oh,
he's another one who just wants power.
Yeah, but they could absolutely build up his. Like I said, we've got tons of episodes left. They could definitely build up his character.
And they're going to.
But to what end? Because there is such a big story.
Yeah.
We've got, quite honestly, we've got Elliot himself, but the fact that they've now revealed that there's a third Elliot
personality
is a huge deal, which will change the whole show when they reveal who that is.
It might not, because I can kind of see it being
But Darlene spoke to the third person. So what else could have happened?
I don't know, because people theorising that when he smokes, that's his third personality, but then that wouldn't be a big reveal, because it's we've seen him be that personality a lot. So I don't think it will be something like that.
That would suck.
I kind of like the theory that there's more personalities. Him as a boy is one, his mum is one.
Well, okay, so clearly that's the other thing, because it all ties into White Rose's machine. because
potentially,
we see
assumedly.
Elliot and his mum. We see what? We see the younger boy. We see a young boy who refers to Elliot and Mr. Robot as two separate people.
Yeah. And the young boy is young Elliot.
Yes, but that could be. That's like, is that the third? Obviously, I realise that is physically young Elliot, but is that the third personality? Considering that he talks to about
his mum, he talks to himself in third person.
What I find crazy about another thing, which I'm not sure has been confirmed yet or not, but the fact that Mr. Robot has been with him for that long, because I know that he forgets a lot of stuff. Like, he forgets who Darlene is in season 1. Like, the whole time. Like, it's a big reveal that that's his sister.
I can't remember when Mr. Robot started. I can't remember if it was like when he got pushed out the window, when he fell out the window. I thought it was not long after that.
I think Mr. Robot's been with him forever.
Yeah, or maybe like
since his dad died.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe when his dad died or when his dad got sick.
But his dad got sick because of the machine.
Yeah.
It's all links.
Whatever it is.
So interesting. The whole thing's so interesting.
The machine thing's really weird, and Sam Esmail has said like it's not going to be time travel. We're not going to introduce anything that fantastical this late in the game. But then it's like, what is it going to be?
It's such a big deal, this machine, because we've seen the machine now multiple times, and it's like a huge Hadron Collider style.
I can see it being like, I'm not sure if I like this, but I can kind of see it being like they're in a simulation.
Yes.
And White Rose has discovered they're in a simulation, and then she somehow showed Angela they were in a simulation and just completely drove Angela insane.
See, that's the other thing.
I mean, it ties in with the whole computer theme of the entire show.
Yeah, but that's the problem I have as well, because like Angela was very straight until her meeting with White Rose, which made her go really loopy. Like she lost it after she saw White Rose. They showed her
after White Rose saw the machine. After Angela saw the machine,
they showed her something which drove her crazy.
Another thing that is worth bringing up.
What is it?
You know when White Rose first kidnaps Angela, and they had that little girl asking her questions.
Annoying.
That little girl was young Angela.
Yes.
Or it was at least the same actress. Why would they pick the same actress unless that was young Angela? Like, that's something that we cannot forget. The whole show is very insane.
Which would still be explained by simulation.
Simulation, exactly. Simulation, time travel, alternate universes, they're all like the top 3 things. Well, I don't know, aliens.
Well, simulation would tie in time travel and alternate universe.
It could be anything then.
It could literally be anything.
Yeah. It's weird because I'm in that point where it's like, it is very late in the series to introduce something too insane, and I'm not sure how much I would like it if it wasn't kind of built up somewhat. But then these things are somewhat built up by all these
it will be built,
suggestions.
We won't know it, but it will be built up throughout the whole show. We will look back on it and go, okay, that makes sense.
I mean, you can look back at any of those 3 things now and think that was pre-established.
Yes.
Like Angela watching the building blow up and then rewinding it and saying, look, they all came back.
Yeah.
Like, that's just time travel, that is.
So I think the best way for them to handle this whole big machine reveal, they're going to have to reveal it
gradually.
Yeah, and it can't be on the last episode.
No.
It can't be on the penultimate episode. It has to be like a 3/4 way through.
I'd say so.
And then
we need some time to get used to it.
We need to, because they can't just throw that out and resolve.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's gonna be a happy ending, but resolve the story in one go. It has to. I really do think that we're gonna see the reveal.
It would be like Lost.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done that in the past. They've done that in the first 2 seasons at least. The big reveal was about 3/4 of the way through.
Oh. Okay,
maybe even sooner. Like the whole prison thing, that was relatively early in the season.
Yeah.
And the whole Mr. Robot reveal isn't right at the end, although it is quite near the end, but I can't quite
But that's
remember
fine though. They can do that.
Mm.
Like if they revealed those things on the last episode, that's fine because then you've got another season to then explain stuff. But you can't end the whole show with something like that without it feeling incomplete.
Yeah.
They'd have to.
No, I would agree.
Oh,
I just hope it's not another Elliot's insane. It could be another Elliot's insane. This is all in his head type thing.
That'd be very disappointing.
That's what the other reveals have been.
There's plenty of. They can't do it again.
One more for the road.
Because that's at that point, that's not tricking the viewer. That's just kind of like the prison was very cool. I really enjoyed that a lot.
I like the
and
prison.
That's fine.
I think a lot of people didn't like the prison, but I like the prison.
I think that was a different take on Elliot being mad because obviously Mr. Robot is completely different. Like there's one thing
also, this was
imagining person. There's another thing completely imagining everything.
Yeah. Also, that wasn't his imagination. That was him being an unreliable narrator. He knew he was in prison. He was just didn't want us to know he was in prison.
Of course.
Yeah.
That was so well done as well. Yeah.
I'm wondering it. Yeah, and it seems so obvious afterwards. It's like, oh, that's why he's just sitting around watching guys play basketball.
Yeah.
And then going back to his mum's house and doing nothing else.
Yeah. I just thought actually, I thought went through my head and then it cancelled out. I was gonna say like, what if we were the third person? But that's not.
No, that is a big theory. Is it?
It's been debunked already.
Oh, has it?
Darlene says that she told to the third person. As in she didn't say that, but
what did she tell to the third person?
She told the third person.
Oh, that Vera visited.
Yes.
But we did see Vera visit her, so that could have been her telling us.
But she didn't look at the camera. Whereas Elliot looks at the camera.
Yeah.
And talks to us.
No, he doesn't always. No. Sometimes it's just voiceover while we're watching things.
Darlene has never had that.
No.
Mr. Robot and Elliot have both talked to us through voiceovers.
Yeah.
Darlene has never done that.
She didn't have voiceover.
And you can't just say, oh, yeah, she was talking to us when we weren't there. It doesn't even make sense.
I can see that as being not her talking to us, but like her retelling the story, and that's us seeing the retelling of the story. But yeah, that would be weird, because then it's kind of like... I mean, us being the third personality doesn't really work at all.
No.
It would be cool though. Then it would suggest that Elliot was actually there during all of this stuff. Like the Frederick and Tanya episode, Elliot was just sitting there like... Whenever we see anything, it's from Elliot's perspective. It's like a helicopter over the top shot. It's just Elliot flying through the air with his big buggy eyes.
Every goddamn scene, like he's like constantly teleported to China, like all the time.
There's this big dais meeting. They're like,
Elliot. White Rose is like talking, and then afterwards, like, you know, when the camera's gone, she's like talking to her assistant, like, are you sure you want to talk about that in front of Elliot? Did you not see him? He was in your past. He was at your friend, your lover's wedding. He's there.
He was there 50 years ago and he hasn't aged. This isn't Elliot, this is his third personality film crew.
That's another thing, right? Okay. What was I going to bring up? How long has White Rose been working on the machine for?
No idea. I reckon since her lover died. In the flashback that we saw last episode / the episode before.
Oh, there's so much to unpack. And
yeah, it's great.
I think that we should conclude our conversation on Mr.
Robot. But I've got a lot more to talk about.
Oh, do you actually?
I actually do.
Oh no! You're welcome. Go for it. I just thought we were running out of steam.
Oh, I'm not running out of steam at all.
Oh no! I really want you to tell me. Go for it.
Okay.
We know him. I'm just out of theories.
Do you know Sam Sepia or whatever the name that keeps cropping up? It's like his handle that Elliot uses, and also in season 1, it was when he broke into the E-Corp facility to get to like the database, whatever. That was what he used. And then he like was really horrible to that guy called Bill or whatever to try and get him to go away. There's a theory that that's the third personality, which I can almost see. It could be like when he was really horrible to that guy and that helps him get in. Maybe that could be like him.
I don't like the idea of the third personality looking like Elliot.
Just angry Elliot.
No, I don't like that.
Because he's very cold at the moment.
You can't have
Kind
Mr.
of
Robot be a second personality, and then the third one's being Elliot again.
Elliot too. This time it's personal.
I don't like that.
No.
Also,
no, I'd agree. Maybe it
here's
looks
something
different.
that I just remembered.
What?
Which was something that was just kind of put in there. I might be overthinking this.
Mm.
Tyrell made a little point about how Elliot only wears.
Right. Okay, before you
know,
say that.
You know what I'm going to say, right?
No, what were you going to say? Because I don't actually know what you were going to say. But I was just going to say.
Okay.
I was literally watching the episode, and I was watching all three of them walk along, and I was thinking, it's weird that Elliot always wears the same clothes, because no one else does that.
That's what I was going to say!
I was thinking...
Who wears the same clothes every time? Elliot
Mr.
and Mr. Robot.
Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't even thinking of it like that. I was thinking... This is me being extremely dumb at putting this into fan theory form.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, it makes sense that Mr. Robot always wears the same clothes, because he's a personality, he's not a real person.
Yeah.
I was thinking, it's weird that Elliot always wears the same clothes. Like, that just feels like them being lazy in the wardrobe department. And then, as I was thinking that, Tyrell said, you always wear the same clothes. And I was like, that's so weird.
Yeah. They actually brought that up. That was actually a thing that they brought up. I think
So you're thinking that could insinuate that he's a different personality?
I'm convinced we must have seen him wear something different.
No, we definitely have.
But
we have seen him wear like different clothes multiple times.
But he does mainly wear the same clothes.
Yeah.
And it's quite significant.
The thing is, if that was like him being another personality, Tyrell surely wouldn't then be able to see him always wearing the same clothes. And hence bring it up.
True.
I like the idea that Rami Malek isn't actually Elliot. Like,
yeah, I think that's a great
actual Elliot is just like Sean Wallace. Remember Sean Wallace in that one episode? He was interrogating Tyrell Wellick, and then he started doing cocaine.
Yeah.
Did you kill Joanna Wallace? What was her name?
I don't know.
Do you love your wife?
Yeah.
Ah, inconceivable. I'm still doing Sean Wallace quotes.
I think that theory might have legs to it though. I do think that's quite.
No, I'd agree. I really like Janice. Is her name? Is that her name?
Yes, it's Janice. Yeah.
The taxidermist.
Yeah.
She's so creepy. She's brilliant. That Let's Keep It 100 text.
Oh,
she's a great villain. Yeah.
She is great.
Because I feel like Irvin's not going to be in this season,
No.
which I'm quite sad about. Because I like Irvin. I think he'll crop up once maybe for some closure. Because they've mentioned him this season, and he was a great character.
I hope he's brought up because it'd be weird for him to only be in season 3.
Yeah, he wasn't, and his arc wasn't really finished.
No.
He kind of got Dom into the Dark Army and then vanished. But it feels like that Janice is kind of a stand-in for Irvin at the moment, which I quite like.
Yeah.
They're doing an extremely good job. I mean, they have since season 1. I remember watching the first season, and it made me like physically paranoid about things. Like, they make you as paranoid as the characters.
Yes.
When it's like every single person they interact with now, I'm like, they're Dark Army.
Yeah.
And that's obviously what the characters are thinking. It's really good.
Now, it's even
every
worse
single
now.
person they run into, you think that must be Dark Army.
It's even worse now because I'm thinking not only Dark Army, but I'm also thinking 2 other things. Is this even real?
Yeah.
Which obviously that's been a thing for a long time.
Yeah.
But now that we've had that dream sequence with Dom, it's now like
is it all
it's
the
not even
dream?
just it's not even just Elliot. It's like any character now. But,
Yeah.
Okay. But then also,
I don't think they'll go too over
is
the top
this
of the
Elliot?
dream sequences.
no,
Yeah.
I don't think it will. But you know what I mean. Like, but it's like, is this Elliot? Like, I'm thinking when I see a main. Thing is though, I say a main character, but like we're out of characters to think of. Like there is no other character who could realistically be Elliot now. I just don't know who else it would be.
No, everyone's too in deep with their own stories.
Yeah, unless it's a completely unrevealed character, then
And the other thing is everyone.
it's just too unbelievable.
Yeah, and the other thing is everyone knows what Elliot looks like, so it can't be like this random character's Elliot and they just didn't notice. It's very interesting though. Dom's dream sequence, now that you've brought it up, I told you this, was it Angela or Darlene? No, it's Angela. She described that dream to Angela in season 2, when she was interrogating her, and the whole point of it was like, oh, I had this dream that this woman came to my house, she was really beautiful, and we were going to have sex, and then suddenly I'm drowning. And only when I stop trying to fight it is when I'm free or something like that. And she's trying to get Angela to talk. But now they actually show us that dream sequence 2 seasons later.
Yes.
And it's like, it's weird because it could be a recurring dream, but at the same time, the only reason she had that dream now is because she's paranoid about the Dark Army.
It could still be a recurring dream.
It could, but this specific dream was very specific to things that have recently happened since she had that conversation with Angela.
Plus, also, it totally
ties into some weird thing.
It totally tied on to her conversation that she was actually having with that person online as well. The whole thing is like the dream was very tailored for that part.
That specific moment. Yeah.
Which, of course,
I did think
confirms simulation theory.
Yeah.
But since, of course, time doesn't exist in a simulation, so she was remembering things that were happening in the future.
So I'm glad Dom's dream was a dream, because it felt stupidly out of character for her to invite a stranger into her home.
Yeah, I know.
When she was freaking out about Dark Army.
Yeah.
That seems like the sort of thing she would only do in a dream and not in real life.
I was just watching that. Like, I was actually shouting at the TV.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why would anyone do that? And then when you say, oh, I'm a woman, and then the person immediately says, oh yeah, so am I. Like, oh yeah, sure you are.
Women aren't online.
That was what I was getting at.
Yeah, right, I think final thing now, because I'm going to just go on forever and ever. So we'll talk about the beautiful ending to this episode. Actually, never mind, one more thing. I just want to quickly say that I absolutely loved the tone of this episode, and setting it at Christmas I thought was perfect, because it had such like a somber, melancholy feeling.
It was so perfect.
But it wasn't like a really sad episode. It was just kind of like emotional in a weird way.
Melancholy is probably the best way of describing it.
Yeah, it was just
I couldn't like pinpoint. There was no like intense sadness.
No, it's just
the whole
like,
thing was just kind of like, huh.
That's it, and it was just like, it's Christmas.
And the Christmas.
I really liked Darlene.
Claus.
Yeah, Darlene's plot I really liked. He was in Parks and Recreation as this horrible character. He was like a dentist called something Jam, and he'd keep telling people that they got jammed. And then he was Santa and Mr.Robot. Yeah, I thought that was great. All 3 of them were great. It was just quite lonely, I guess, was the word you'd use.
Yeah, definitely lonely.
There was also kind of...
also Darlene shouting
moments
at Elliot in front of a shop called Virtual Reality.
Yes, I think I saw that.
Like, they were going into Virtual Reality. That was the whole thing. They were trying to hack it.
Yeah.
They were looking at what the security was.
Yeah.
And then obviously the whole like AI tree thing that you sent me.
That feels like a big deal. That's what I was going to say. So the ending with Tyrell... preceded by an absolutely beautiful shot of Tyrell saying, I'm just going to go for a walk. And then he walks off into the mist. It was so good. The cinematography is so good. Why don't other shows look as good as this?
I know.
Make your shows look good.
I know. Like, Mr.Robot, it's not the most popular show.
No.
But, my God, it's like the best looking show.
Incredible. The cinematography is amazing. Good. It's shot interesting. It's lit well. Everything looks cinematic.
It's very, very impressive.
And then you watch other shows. It's like, this looks so cheap in comparison. Yeah. It's not expensive to make your show look like cinematic.
No, not at all. It just takes skill.
Yeah.
Not
even that much skill. You just need to know what you're doing to some extent.
Skill and time.
Yeah.
It would take longer to make a shot, making it look artistic.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the main thing is getting the actors. There's a lot of long takes in Mr.Robot. Yeah. I mean, there's that one episode where the whole thing is made to look like one shot. I know, obviously, there's a lot of hidden cuts, but there's still a lot of choreography in that.
Were there hidden cuts?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The whole thing isn't one take at all. Okay. There's like 20 hidden cuts or something. They're quite clever. It's like every time it goes into a screen, you see a few times, it's like wipes past the camera. But yeah, it is done well.
That episode, if it was done in one cut, would have been far too risky.
No, it would have been impossible to do. You see the cuts increase later through the episode when the riot starts going on.
Because
like,
it's just you can't do that.
No.
Twice.
There's quite an obvious one where someone walks past and then it cuts to it pans around to a camera woman. She talks to the camera. I wonder if they did that so she could get her little news bit. And then it starts going through the crowd, and there's quite a few cuts where obviously they've got a rioting crowd of people who they've got to choreograph. That is, I keep saying this to people, but that is probably my favourite TV episode of any show ever.
Yeah, the whole time I just had my mouth wide open.
It's so good.
Yeah, really impressive.
And then not long after that, you have the episode
it would be
where...
up there with Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Battle of the Bastards is really, really good.
Yeah. And then right at... I can't even watch that, though, without just being so angry at Sansa.
Oh.
You were thinking I was going to say Game of Thrones General, which, but Sansa, that episode,
I was expecting
winds me up. They're talking like a military tactic.
Sideline here.
Sideline.
It's just like... Basically, to summarise, she's like, why don't you get me involved? Alright, Sansa, what's your opinion? Well, don't ask me. Yeah. You're the king. Like,
no, but you just... They're all in the military meeting. I think this seems right if this goes out of focus, because that's exactly what we're doing. But they're in like a military meeting, all gathered around talking tactics, and like, okay, cool, that's what we'll do, sweet. Everyone leaves. Sansa's like, why didn't you ask me what I thought? I know him better than anyone. It's like, you were in the room, you were present.
Yeah, and she was present.
You just talked.
Yeah,
like, no one stopped you. You sat there in silence, emotionless, like you didn't have anything to say. Yeah. Why are you so mad?
I don't...
And then she says she has nothing to offer up anyway. And then she does have something to offer up. And loads of people died for nothing. Tell him you had Littlefinger's army, Knights of the Vale. Why didn't you say anything until many people died?
You know what annoys me the most about the whole thing, though?
Yeah.
It could have been redeemed. The whole thing could have been redeemed if Sansa had some sort of motive. If she was actually thinking, by doing this, I'm going to get some sort... This is going to be a power play.
Yeah.
And it's revealed, okay, Sansa's actually like pretty bad. Cool. But as it turns out, F all happens in Game of Thrones, in the show.
Yeah, none of it meant anything.
F all happens. Sansa was just a generic good person, turns out, after this whole time of her supposedly having an arc.
Was she that good though? Because she just exiled her brother, and then her other brother became king, and then he agreed that they should be exiled. And then her little sister's arc completely shifted to, I'm going to go sailing. Anyway, Mr.Robot.
Yeah, that's a bit old news, isn't it?
Yeah. So I love that episode, and I also love the episode not long after where they think they've saved the day by disarming the bomb. And then he's like, why is everyone all sad? Do they know something I don't know? And then it ends with 71 E-Corp buildings exploded. And I'm like... Yeah. It makes me feel emotions. It's so good. And apparently, the next episode is going to be dialogue-free, or at least very little dialogue, which I'm extremely excited to see.
I didn't realise that, like I said, I didn't realise that was confirmed, because I saw the trailer, which had Silent Night in the background, and there was no words. I thought that was it. I didn't realise it actually said it.
There was some interview of Sam Esmail where he heavily implied it. I'm not sure if it's been officially confirmed. Have you seen... Did you ever watch BoJack Horseman? Yes. That's another show that's in its final season. I haven't watched.
In its entirety in any way. I've watched like random episodes.
That's a really good show.
Yeah, I know. I really enjoyed it.
There's an episode of that with almost no dialogue at all. And it's really, really good. My favourite episode of that series by far. And I'm pretty sure it won a bunch of awards and stuff.
Wow.
It's really, really good.
Okay.
I actually kind of want to show just that episode. But yeah, it's great. I would be excited to see.
But I get nervous about
Mr.Robot did the same thing.
I am going to enjoy it. There's no doubt about it.
You don't want it to be too gimmicky.
It's fantastic. Don't want it to be too gimmicky, and I just don't think you can't. It's going to be great. I don't want to, but you can't advance the plot in any meaningful way.
No, not massively. I mean, no. BoJack Horseman's episode.
You wouldn't want to.
While it didn't
the plot
really
with no dialogue in that way, though, would you? You just wouldn't want that to be the case.
While it didn't really advance the plot, it was a very good character episode. I guess it was another off episode, but I guess you don't want two of those in a row.
No, exactly.
The thing I think would be most difficult is having Mr.Robot and Elliot interacting with no dialogue, which I guess you could do. Is it going to be set on Christmas Day? Is it going to be set the next day? I think it will be.
I think it is set on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Because we haven't seen a Mr.Robot Christmas yet. I don't think so. At
No,
least.
after everyone's. I mean, that's the thing. In season 2, end of season 2, and the rest of season 3,
Yeah.
it's like it's pretty bleak. Like
It's a post-apocalypse.
It's like a borderline post-apocalypse.
Yeah.
But then.
Oh, it's not even. It's just an apocalypse,
to
not
have
even post.
It seems to kind of tip it out, and people seem to be.
Yeah. Well, they've mentioned that many, many times that.
Yeah.
E-coin and everything has kind of helped the recovery of society and everything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
I think that's definitely been a kind of backstory thing. Right, final.
I love backstories like that. What was I watching?
There's a lot of political and world-building stuff happening in the background.
I watched a movie.
It's really interesting.
I watched a movie. I think it's a movie or a show. I can't remember.
Mm.
And it was really fascinating because the whole time in the background was this other story being told about the world basically going to shit. There's a war. The story isn't about the war. The story is completely different.
You told me this.
And in the backdrop, you've just got this whole crazy landscape.
You told me this because I then remember bringing up to you the film Synecdoche, New York, which I don't know if you've seen.
What was
really, really good film. But in that's like the whole film is dreamlike. It's time moves forward in really weird ways.
Oh yeah, I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah. It's really, really weird to watch, and it takes a while, and then you're
cool.
like, oh wait, like years have passed. I thought it was like
that's so
hours.
Oh, I love that.
And then you're watching this guy's life as his health deteriorates. He's trying to put on this big play, which gets really surreal. It ends up kind of being like a Truman Show thing, where his play is in this warehouse that becomes like infinitely huge. And then in the background of that, there's like the world's ending. You see people getting put into vans. There's like blimps going past with spotlights, but it's not mentioned. It's just all this stuff's happening.
I kind of want to watch that.
We could watch it tonight. Probably
watch
don't
that
have
bit
time
of
to
it.
watch it tonight. That's a really good film. Have you seen the film Searching?
No.
It was that one of those ones where the whole thing is done like from a computer screen. If it's this actor's looking, or this character is looking for his daughter, she's gone missing, and
I think I've heard of that.
It's the whole thing is just his looking at the camera. I haven't seen it, but apparently on that you see news stories and stuff that he scrolls past of this big world event that's happening in the background. However, I don't want to tell you what it is because I think we should watch it one time and see if you notice.
You mentioned that before as well.
Do you know what it is?
No, I don't know. I don't think you told me.
I might have already told you, but if not, that would be a fun one to watch.
The fact that you're not telling me is intriguing.
It's not. It's not
generic.
It's pretty generic.
Oh.
I just haven't seen the film, and I want to see how obvious it is and how interesting it is. Because it's weird for that sort of film. It's not a realistic thing that happens. It's quite out there.
I like stuff like that. It's kind of quite realistic. Like things like right now.
It makes it feel world building.
In present day, right now, there's some crazy stuff going on, but
we're not aware
we don't have
of
anything to do with it.
No, the focus is on us, not on the world outside. Yeah. No, I like that a lot. And Mr.Robot, I was gonna say it does that, but it doesn't always, because a lot of the time there's just a lot that's relevant to the plot.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I was gonna bring up was the one-shot episode. In the background, it keeps cutting to them talking about the annexing of the Congo.
Yes.
What's happening with that, and it's really cool.
So
cool. It just makes the world feel rich.
It's just crazy. It's like, I mean, obviously the whole annexing.
I mean, that is a huge deal to the plot. In fairness,
that's not. That started off as background, but now it's like in your face.
Yeah.
It's gotten more in your face as the shows go on. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Why? What is going on? I mean, obviously, I can understand.
I feel like we know the reason behind that. I can't remember.
Well, it's to do with White Rose's machine.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand is, why does she need an entire country?
It's all weird.
But sure, buy a plot of land, like a gigantic plot of land in Africa.
Something else that happened that episode. Also, I think it's still set in like 2016, isn't it? So it's an alternate past.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
They mentioned that. I think in the last episode.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
They say like, in a week it's going to be 2016 or 20. No, I think it's set in 2015, and they say in a week it's going to be 2016.
Yeah, that's weird.
There's not much time's passed since season one.
No.
In the grand scheme of things. There's a bit in the last episode where there's a news story in the background, and you see a couple times where they found water on Mars, and I can't remember if that's just a real thing that happened, because I feel like I remember that being a thing in 2015 where they found like ancient water, or not water, but they found where there would have been water on Mars.
Yeah, I think.
And I can't think, is that just a thing that happened in 2015, or is that some backstory thing that's going to be relevant in some way?
I remember that feeling more in your face than it had any right to be.
It was quite in your face. It props up a couple times in that one episode.
Oh, this is happening a lot now.
Yeah. Pretty interesting though.
I don't know why you started right down there. Wow, that worked immediately. How frustrating.
We'll just use the focus penis.
Wow, it's really hating everything.
Yeah. So anyway, like I was saying, let's finish this off by what I was going to say 40 minutes ago, and then we got sidetracked, as is the way of Sandbox.
Yes.
The end of the episode, Tyrell gets shot, walks away. He's walking between two trees, which from his perspective would look like a eye. There's two trees leaning against each other like an A, and another one looking like an eye. That's probably, fan insanity and doesn't mean anything, but it's fun to think about.
It's a very weird selection looking at trees, though.
So there's this prominent noise that becomes more prominent throughout the episode of a deer or some animal dying or being wounded or making some sort of battle cry.
That's a huge thing.
And it starts happening more and more often. And then by the end, Tyrell is dying, he's walking along, he finds a big glowing light where the source of the noise is. It's getting more and more frequent.
And it ain't a deer.
And then the episode ends.
It fades to white.
It fades to white, which it's never done before.
No.
Which could be symbolism for a major character dying, but I don't know, maybe. Some people are saying it's a UFO. Some people are saying it's some sort of console that's going to help them discover in a simulation.
Man,
he looked very elated to find it, like he had seen something incredible.
Yes, I think it would be quite strange if it was evidence of a simulation, given that White Rose has to build a huge machine.
Yeah.
If we're going with that theory,
unless
White Rose would have had to make a huge machine. The
creators of the simulation put this thing in there for them. A lot of people are saying
UFO. I mean, water on Mars. That'd be funny.
A lot of people are saying it's actually like a deer trap that real hunters use. It makes a noise to attract deer, and it emits a light and then blocks them or something, traps them. But then a lot of other people saying it doesn't emit that light, and if it did, humans wouldn't be able to see it. So I don't know if there's anything to that, but people saying it could just be some sort of hunter trap, and the reason it's going to be relevant is that like the woman at the petrol station manages to find Tyrell Wellick because he's set this trap off or something like that.
But the way he looks at it,
like it's something like, incredible.
Like really incredible. And if I saw that in the woods, I wouldn't be thinking, especially if I've been shot, I wouldn't be thinking, oh whoa.
Unless he's like delirious.
It would take some real time for me to think, oh, actually maybe this would possibly get someone to help me out. I guess I don't even know what this thing is.
Yeah.
Do I really need to
making
go
a
near
weird
it?
noise?
No, I would walk away.
The noise is very weird.
Also, he managed to get quite far away.
Got some distance.
Like he went off. He walked quite far.
He was shot in the exact same place that Elliot was shot when Elliot was shot and survived, which might be important to note.
Third person.
One other thing that they've done different this season is the naming of the episodes. Ordinarily, it's like it's all written in a codey way. I don't know. There's a word for that. It's all like lowercase dots. Kill dot process. The I's are one. It's usually named like that, and it's usually like a computing term, or it's something relevant to the episode, like Frederick and Tanya. This season, it hasn't been written like that.
Numbers in 401, 404.
It's been written like error messages.
Yes.
everyone's been hyped for 404 for a long time because it's like it's obvious what this episode's going to be called. What could it mean? Yeah. So
Wait,
that
wasn't that the last episode? 404.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Everyone was looking forward, like, what are they going to do with Not Found?
Yeah.
Like that could be something cool. And they kind of played on the searching and releasing things. Yeah, I reckon that's going to be important. It's error messages. Like, is it Elliot like shutting down? Is it that the whole season is an error and Elliot's completely somewhere else and it's all imagination? Like, because they go all in with these things. They think about the details.
I just feel like season 3 they had their big old plot progression season because there's no dreams. There was nothing crazy going on. It was like
season 3 was action.
Here's some thick plot.
Yeah.
But I don't see them ending the show on a dream.
No. Or at least not too near the end.
Not like a all-encompassing season-wide dream, anyway.
No, I don't think that'll happen.
Oh, there's so many reveals.
There's so much that could happen. It literally could go any way at all.
I don't. Well, as we know, they love a good twist. It's not like
season 3 didn't have a major twist.
Oh no, other than the season.
It had like Mr.Robot has been taken over at night. That was a bit of a twist, and Angela's been working for them.
Oh yeah.
There are still smaller twists, but no season-breaking twists.
We haven't actually talked about this. Angela just gets shot.
Angela died immediately.
Immediately?
Yeah, right at the beginning of the season.
What? I didn't even see it.
I was confused.
It was in the distance, blurry.
I was confused, but I'm pretty certain they carried on the recap segment directly into the episode.
Yeah.
Which was really trippy but cool.
Oh, I was thinking, okay, this is going on.
I don't remember this, and then it kept going, and I was like, oh,
this
is new. Yeah, Angela died immediately. That is a major character death.
Yeah.
Good for pushing Philip Price into Elliot's warm arms. What is going to happen at the Deus Group meeting when White Rose wants to pitch Tyrell Wellick? That's the next
episode.
Yeah.
That is the next episode.
He wants to pitch Tyrell Wellick as the next CEO, but he's either dead or not in any condition to travel to wherever they need to go for their meeting.
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
So why was there a Dark Army person in the van tracking Elliot anyway? We
They
don't know that.
might have been tracking Tyrell Wellick.
Exactly. They might have been tracking Tyrell. They probably were.
I don't think that... Why is that weird, though? Because they know that he's got a plan to...
Well,
no, he's planning something. Why wouldn't they be watching
it's weird.
him?
Well, because you must always be watching him. Why is it so...
obvious?
No, it was like, there's a van following me. Like, well, isn't there always a van following you?
I guess so. No, maybe not. Maybe sometimes they just like track his phone or something weird. I guess they couldn't really, could they? Because he's always got burners and stuff.
Something about it struck me as odd. That I would have assumed that the Dark Army
were constantly following him. No, I guess that's true. Yeah, I didn't really think of that.
And also the fact that Tyrell just turns up out of nowhere.
Well, he turned up because he got offered the CEO position, and he wanted to tell Elliot now they can take him down from the inside.
I think it was just the way it was filmed then. Something about the whole episode felt very odd.
Yeah.
Dreamlike. Definitely dreamlike.
It all felt very dreamlike and wavy. The score was weird. The music at the end was really good.
The entirety of Mr.Robot as a show.
It could describe quite a few episodes, yeah. Yeah.
So...
I think we should wrap it up there.
That was Sandbox episode 104.
Yeah. It was actually episode 1014.
Not found.
Killed at process.
I didn't know that. So basically, to summarise, we talked about a few little things and then had a full-on spoiler fest about Mr.Robot for I don't know.
Hope you caught up. We hope that you have seen up to season 4, episode 4 of Mr.Robot, or this is unwatchable.
I love how originally when we started talking about Mr. Robot, we said skip, but we just put a link in there. It's like skip past Mr. Robot.
Here's the time code. Oh, that's the length of the video.
It's wrong.
Skip ahead if you don't want to hear us talk about Mr. Robot. Skip ahead to the next video. Maybe that one you'll be able to see our heads. Right.
I need to fix it.
Bye everyone.
I need to change the camera so it doesn't keep doing that.
Yeah, you need to change your life.